At NIV Pune is where the story begins of the virus all the way till the creation of the vaccine. I have with me Dr. Pragya Yadav, who's been instrumental in bringing forward the science of the coronavirus pandemic, and she has the expertise and the experience to tell us where the pandemic will go from here on. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining us on India Today. First of all, would like to ask you, how far have we moved away from the threat of another variant coming forward, because we've already faced 3 waves. So what does the science say about the threat of the pandemic for India?
So as you know that with the surge of the Omicron cases, there was a fear that may it happen that we go through another third wave like we have seen with the Delta, with a lot of death reinfections. But fortunately it didn't happen because of a great mass immunization and presence of a good amount of the vaccine across the country. Now we are vaccinating our adolescents, children, even 12 to 14 years is also being approved. So I think India is in a very, very good state now regarding the mass immunization, having a hybrid immunity of the infection plus vaccination. And even some state has announced to be mask free with options. But I take this message with a little precautionary measures, especially those people who are having comorbidity. They have only got 2 doses of vaccination. They have not been infected. They should definitely use the mask for their own safety. And at the same time, we have to be vigilant monitoring that if there is a new entry of any VOCs. So being a researcher, I think we will be more cautious observer at the moment to see how it goes.
Because right now, ma'am, even states like Maharashtra or Delhi and other states are saying that masks are not required anymore.
Yes.
This is exactly what happened in other countries in 2021, where countries decided that people can become mask free, like Israel and US. And then the third wave emerged throughout the world and people had to take booster shots. So do you see the same threat for India?
So as we have already crossed this Omicron, which was having a very high R0 values of 10, and we still did very good with the Omicron. So based on that, I think government has taken decisions. And as I mentioned, any schools are opening, children will go to school. It will be kind of a monitoring to do that now. But we cannot do the mask and all this for very long time. With the vaccine coverage, it is a good options to now try to be normal, and I think we will see what happens. And then based on that, countries now used to going to back to the mask and everything, so it should be taken up easily if it is required.
Ma'am, children below the age of 12 years have still not qualified for a vaccine in India.
Right.
There are other countries like US, UK, where children below that age group, they have begun taking the coronavirus vaccine. What is stopping India?
So I think as soon as the data which is required for the approval is available, government will surely give the approvals to provide, and we have to just wait for the right time.
What does the data say at the moment?
I can't say much because these decisions are taken by NTG and our DCGI, so I would like to restrict myself on this comment.
No, but I'm just asking you about the science. What does the science say?
Yes, so for any vaccine, the safety, immunogenicity and efficacy, these are the 3 main factors which really important for the pediatric population. And based on the clinical data, trial data which has come up, initially Covaxin was given approval and then Coravax was given. So I'm sure that we'll have the soon vaccine for the small age children as well.
And what about the third precautionary dose for those below the age of 60 years, 45 years below as well, till 18 years? When will we see a precautionary dose being given to this particular age group?
So I saw in the news that there is a plan to roll out the vaccine precautionary dose for the other age group also, and it will be a wise decision as well, looking at the threat to other countries with the Omicron. Though we did very well with the Omicron, but boosting the immunity will be one of the good assurance for the coming of VOCs or variants in the future.
And you talk about VOCs, but could we look at another VOC after Omicron? Look at China, nations like Hong Kong. They are again witnessing large amount of infections. 90% of these infections are asymptomatic, and scientists there say that it's because of BA.2 So, do you see that there could be a variant other than the BA.2 that could infect the Indian population again after Omicron?
So Omicron already has mutated and has 15 different variants. And mainly initially BA1 was the leading thing, and then now BA2, and it is further mutating. So we will see more new coming of variants for sure. But as the moment as Omicron has not impacted India, so we are quite in a good situation. But we cannot say that no new VOC will arrive us. So those commitments are impossible to make. We have to wait and watch.
Ma'am, honestly, how big is the VOC threat for India? Do you think that after Omicron we could see another mutation? Where could we see another mutation? The last one was found in South Africa.
Right. I think if we maintain a good coverage of the booster for the rest of the population, we should be okay. Even if there is a new VOC come up.
And do you assess that the study that was done by IIT Kanpur, they said that perhaps we will see another wave towards the end of July? What do you have to say to that?
So I just want to remind you that virus doesn't do anything. It's the people who do all the magic for the raising the waves and waves. So it is up to us how we are going to behave and how we are going to respect. And a virus has no role. Even though if VOC is there and we are having a lot of precautionary measures, we are not going to impact. The same time, we have to remember that vaccine cannot stop the infection. It can only protect you with the disease mortality and severity. So the risk of getting infections will be there. And though I don't agree with the study which was published from IIT Kanpur, so that's why I said in the beginning itself we have to wait and watch, and we have to definitely cautious. And whenever we feel that surge is going to happen, we have to change our policies immediately on the mass practices.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to us. In fact, there's been a question about whether or not the next wave will come, when will the boosters be given, and the population is also waiting eagerly so that India can remain protected. But NIV Pune, one of the premier institutes, front runners in the fight against the pandemic, continue to do their role here and continue to study the pandemic in future as well, so that we have good scientific studies that could lead to recommendations from the NTAGI as well as NEGVAC for the country. In Pune, Milan Sharma for India Today.